In addition to being a senator, spent a lot of time overseas for the Defense Department, did other things as well. As you watch this video after the shooting, so much, as Danny pointed out, Robin pointed out, has been made that this was some kind of professional marksman and on and on and on. Your analysis as you see this?
He definitely had a plan, and he knew what he's doing. He also, I mean, you can take into the fact of a shot. That was no lucky shot to be a neck shot. Neck shot is the only place in your body you can't put a tourniquet. You can put a tourniquet on the head, you can put a tourniquet on the body, you can put a tourniquet on the limb. Neck shot is most of the time lethal because there's so much vital right in this small area. As soon as I saw that, knowing that it was 150 to 200 yards away, you could tell this wasn't an AR. It wasn't a 223 round. This was a 5.56 or greater. The gentleman had not just weapons training. He had a little bit more training than the average hunter out there. The fact that he was moving with purpose, he knew where to go on the building. He knew that he was jumping off in that area. He had a little bit more thought on it. I'm not saying he was a professional hitman, but he did put thought in it. It wasn't just a moment of opportunity for him. This was something he had been planning for a while. When you have somebody with a mental illness, they have this envision of who they are and what they may become because of it. I believe this is completely backfiring on the person, and it's really hard. You just don't know what has happened in this time frame that has happened between the assassination to where we are today. This guy could already have been dead of a self-inflicted wound, and it's very hard to find a dead man, and it's very hard to find someone that is sitting still and holding up in one particular spot too. So movement helps. And the more someone moves, the more opportunities we have to be able to catch them with all the video surveillance we have around when you don't even know you're on surveillance. But there is no question at this point, I believe, the same as the gentleman was saying, that they probably do have the gentleman's name. They're just not releasing it yet.
Right, and sometimes you want to make them get comfortable and make a mistake. The governor of Utah, no questions, and I couldn't quite tell what his takeaway was from this. There'll be time for healing, feel that you take things as the way Charlie did. What was your takeaway from Governor Cox's comments?
That they're probably getting bombarded with false information because everybody's scrolling and everything they see on there, people's reporting it because they feel like they're obligated because they see something, say something. But as he was pointed out, that Russia and China and North Korea and Iraq has trolls on the social media that's being able to put out disinformation, and it's causing
confusion. They're also trying, the trolls in North Korea and China and Russia are feeding into the real vitriol, and I would say it, on both sides about what needs to be done after this, but especially from the left? And amplifying?
I don't think they have the ability or quite understanding of the American people and the democracy and the republic that we live in. I don't think so. I think they would love to do that, but they can't control the propaganda like they do in their own country. So it's a huge. I think they're just trying to confuse to being part of it, but I don't think they're doing it on
purpose. Stand by for us 1 second. I want to bring Brian Enton in, who's outside of the press conference just now. Brian, you listened in as well. No questions were taken. What would have been your questions?
My question would have been about the reports today. There were reports circulating online, and the Wall Street Journal reported about some inscriptions that may have been on the gun involving trans stuff. I was curious if that's actually true. Again, we didn't have the opportunity to ask any questions, so that would have been my question. I thought it was interesting that the FBI director didn't speak. That he just stood there. He arrived. He's still here right now. I guess, we had before they gave out the speaker list, and he was number one to talk even ahead of the governor. And the governor just spoke, and it was really a very brief press conference. I guess I was expecting there were 4 people set to speak, including the special agent in charge, including the FBI director, and it ended up just being the governor being very, very brief. And we did get that new video, which is great. They've enhanced some of the photos. So hopefully, I mean, the photos are good enough that someone should be able to see this and identify this person. I mean, someone
Yeah, a lot of people
knows. If you
wouldn't
know
have to
this,
know this
this guy,
person.
you're going to see the photo and you're going to know.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to know this person very well. We'll start, Brian, with you because you brought it up first, that the idea that the video of this person limping was before the shooting, and that would explain that he had the weapon down his pants. Then he runs across the top of the building when he no longer has the weapon hidden in his pants. Do we have any idea of whether when he dropped down he injured himself in any way? Can you look closer on this video as he runs away? Does he appear to be injured at all?
It doesn't. I mean, it's not zoomed in, but look at him run, Leland. There was just that close-up there. We'll watch it again here in a second when he drops down. I don't think, let's watch again here. He's going to drop down now. He holds onto the edge. He kind of stands, there's a little ledge there, and then he drops down. And then let's watch. I don't see a limp at all. I mean, it's only for a second that we see him run, but I didn't see a limp there, which makes me think again that he had the gun hidden, and that's the reason he was limping when he was walking to the site.
Yeah, Robin, always in these cases, the FBI knows way more than they're letting on. What do we derive from the idea, as Brian reported, that there's no checkpoints around the campus, there's no helicopter searches, there's no big drag nets, there's not checkpoints on highways at 50 or 80 or 100 miles around?
Yeah, so a lot of times when we're doing investigations and everything in life, we don't always assess what we know, but we also assess what we don't know and what we're also not seeing. I was really taking a look at not just that interesting fact that there's no dragnet basically out there, what we'd expect. So that's interesting, not that they don't have it. It's interesting, to think about what's causing them to not have it. And then when you look at the governor's press conference, as we've been noting, all these other people are supposed to speak. He spoke. A lot of confidence, and I even made this note as he's speaking. He's smooth, organized, and informative, and he didn't disclose anything except what he's controlled to disclose, and he also didn't take any questions, so it's very controlled messaging. My conjecture on it, again, pure conjecture, is this press conference was as much for us as it was for the shooter himself to elicit a reaction or non-reaction.
Yeah, your conjecture is based on decades of experience, so it's a lot more than those of us who yap on cable TV for a living. Thank you both. Rob and Danny, stay with us. Senator Mullin, I know you have to head out. Your thought in terms of, can we as a country, if we're going to heal, begin to heal before this guy's arrested?
Absolutely. We should already start healing. We should be taking up the mantle that Charlie Kirk, unfortunately, has had to lay down, and we can take it and can get refocused. The best way to heal is to find and refocus with purpose. And the repurpose is to continue the message that Charlie Kirk laid out for us.
And that this man took away.
And that this man took away. This man will be caught, either live or dead. He'll be caught, preferably live, right? But I think there's a lot of interesting facts. I mean, and who knows? You brought up the ammunition. Was it really carved? What was the transgender stuff in there or not? I don't know. We didn't get to see it. But if it was, then you got to think, okay, then what was the connection between the shooter and the question that was being asked when Charlie Kirk was shot? Right? I mean, because then you start drawing the picture between both those that wasn't addressed. And so there's a lot of questions.
Does it bother you that from a American standpoint, that the head of the FBI, I don't remember hearing from Kash Patel and, since he's become director in a meaningful way. This is just the first big moment in American history where we need the head of the FBI to speak, and he's not?
Absolutely not. Kash is very methodical on both. A lot of times, until you had, like the last couple of directors, a lot of times you didn't even know who the FBI director was because they stay behind the curtain and they're doing the work that needs to be done. Kash may know a lot more information. He didn't want to be put in a position or accidentally say something that could be taken wrong. Kash is not afraid of the camera. He's just being very methodical and being the director of the FBI. And what you do is you lead from the front, and he is leading from the front, showing that he's out there, but also keeping his mouth shut because they're looking for a criminal right now, and they're going to find him. And I saw more out of him saying nothing than actually saying something, because there's too many times the past directors wanted media attention, not doing their job. This shows that Director Kash Patel is doing his job.
Senator, thank you very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. President Trump heading back to the White House here in the next couple of minutes, to the White House when we come back.